Hi everybody, Ambassador Arthur Batman here with an update on the day after looking at the prosthetics for the very first time. A video has been created for that, and this video is because overnight something came over me. I wanted to impart it and share it with you. You can find the archive of previous videos right here. It's a daily digital devotional available on your laptop, desktop, tablet, smartphone, smart TV for free. And to access the archives, you need to add the Tumblr app. It's safe and secure. On the flip side of this is the actual hands-on ministry of what gets done, at least previously before the amputation, and hoping to bring it back in, let's say, within the month or by next month, God willing. Still needing a few more volunteers and pieces of the puzzle to put back together, but get that hands-on charity back up and running. Part of why I'm still around. I'm still standing. I wanted to share with you a little something about an epiphany, a big $2 fancy schmancy word that came into my head regarding an illumination, a clarity that came to me, courtesy of the Lord, at its perfect timing. Traditionally, the saying goes that the Civil War, the internal American Civil War, I'm talking about not other wars, World War I, Vietnam, Desert Storm, it occurred it exacted a heavy toll, which is where we get, in all likelihood, the phrase, the idiom, that costs an arm and a leg. Because literally, and I feel not unlike some of those veterans of wars that have lost a limb, contending, in this case, summoning true force to fight the evil that has been running rampant and running roughshod, the Babylonian components of America versus American Beulah, who is defending the causes, championing the causes nearest and dearest to the Son of God. I used to think that the arm and a leg idiom originated from Renaissance artists when famous painters would paint aristocracy, for example. They'd ask them, okay, group portrait, what do you want? And they would say, I want this setting, I want to be presented in this fashion. And the artist would turn around and say, well, it's going to cost you an arm and a leg. Meaning, if you want to show an arm or you want to show a leg, that takes more time to paint, so it's going to cost you that. But no, it actually involves loss of life and limb. The Civil War exacted a heavy toll. But what happened in the end? Abraham Lincoln, the Republican leader, got the job done, paid a heavy price with his own life, but the Lord is on top of all of that at this point, feeling very convicted of it. I have paid a heavy toll for working on behalf of King and Country. Some of it I've brought it on myself, because I have not aspired, although now with the amputation, a little bit more caution before I blurt anything out to a person in public, because I'm confined to a chair, or I'll have a prosthetic. Yesterday I went for the first time to get the prosthetic looked at, and there are so many options, and I'm going to place a link for help. If you would like to add me to your benevolence, to your charity, because there's a lot of parts, components they call it, involved in, not to mention a myriad of visits for refitting and retrofitting, tweaking it until the prosthetic is just right. It just goes on and on and on. They're telling me that it could be as many as 50 round trips that I need to go, and I will go through before the final composition is done of the one that I'll settle down on for a few years. I'll go through 2 iterations of the prosthetic, and everything is money. Everything is money. Right now I'm living on borrowed money and running out very fast. But I trust in the Lord. Not one time have I ever gone in the bat cave without, even during a 3.5-week coma practically, a 3-week coma. But then, at the time afterward, also the recovery and what have you, all that time, not once did the bills not get paid. Much holy kiss to my family for stepping in during those critical moments. Kudos to my family for laying their hands on me and praying over me. In this, they've shown immeasurable help that I cannot repay at this time. Today's verse that accompanies the study is, "The Lord giveth, the Lord taketh away," from the book of Job. Blessed be the name of the Lord. And in all of that, Job did not inappropriately say something foolish back to the Lord. Accepted, owned some of the responsibility for it, and in some cases, other people have to own some of their end as well. I'm going through a rough patch right now, mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally. Your feverish prayers appreciated and your support. I've gone from being a selfless giver, and I have a long track record here of getting it done for king and country without a lot of blah, blah, blah excuses. This is the 20th year, approaching now the 21st anniversary of this ministry. Without fail, getting the job done. And as I've said on many other previous broadcasts, I don't let me stop me from doing the work that I have laid on the Lord, that I was going to do it till the very, very end. That's part of the reason Batman is still around for now. Anyway, I want to take you on a little tour of the Museum of Nerd and Geek over here, as I think it relates to what's been given to me on less than a day following the visit to the prosthetic lab. A prosthetic lab, by the way, one of the regional offices, a company named Hanger, Hangar, and it was a fella who was in the Civil War of the United States that participated in the Great Battle. He was the one who first invented, the Lord probably, gave him the idea through Mr. Hanger, the first prosthetic. And I can only imagine what that must have been like. Wooden and clunky and not like today. What I put in a request for is a waterproof one so that I don't have to take it off when I'm entering the shower. I go to a pool, go to the beach. The Batman lives in not too far from the beach, so it would be nice to go and have something that could weather the storms, not unlike Batman himself. Anyway, let's take the tour. Hi, everybody. Ambassador. Okay, gang, we're going to take the tour now. So we're in Batman's boudoir. Watchmen, religious artwork. On the bottom is a Van Gogh sowing the seeds. And Batman has a special handmade, I liken it to being a portal, as it were, of special things in a glass cabinet. And a lot of them have religious significance. I'm not going to go into all the details and all the explanation as to what I feel they represent today. We'll save that for perhaps another day. But at the very top of the cabinet, centerpiece, is a very hard to come by replica of Indiana Jones, Raiders of the Lost Ark, the Ark of the Covenant. Let's see if you can see the top of that. I'm in the chair, so I don't want to necessarily stand up while I'm going over this with you. But today, of all days, going to be headed to a screening, one of those. Oops. We're still on? Yes. Oh my God, I thought I would have to have started over again. A screening of Raiders of the Lost Ark, the original, the classic. Now, she has, for many years, as many of you have followed this ministry, represents not the Greek mythological character that is one of the few references in the Bible. Wonder Woman is in the Bible. Yes, and I've mentioned this on many, many different occasions. She's in the book of Acts. Diana, Princess Diana, the Greek mythological goddess, but this ministry mentions her as the DC Comics crime fighter version to represent collectively that the bridal party, which is men and women, the bridal party of Jesus Christ is not the proverbial damsel in distress. Now, as we're making our way, you're going to see some goodies. This is, in my opinion, the most dangerous film championing God's work and dangerous to the devil ever made. This is the remake, 1951 Quo Vadis. This is a must-see if you've never seen it before. It's a film that features in prominent speaking roles the Apostle Paul, the Apostle Peter, the burning of Rome by the first Antichrist Nero, and the feeding of Christians to the lions. And the story's fantastic. And this is back when Best Pictures meant something. This is a handmade representation of Christ. I got so many goodies here. I could go on and what they mean, what the significance is. You see Jesus there on an article of clothing that I have hanging up. Shower curtain. Trump. The Blues Brothers. Where is he? There he is in a tie. We're on a mission from God. I'm having a good time sharing a lot of this with you. Okay, let's take it a step further. Batman over there on the decal on the fridge. Ben-Hur. Speaking of classic movies, up at the very, very top. Now let's go a little further here. These are damsels in distress, classic ones, art reproductions. The farthest thing from what the bridal party of Jesus Christ is. We are not Olive Oyl screaming out for Popeye's help. We are not Guinevere in need of Lancelot / King Arthur, because we are the Category 5 hurricane. Here's basically where Batman does his work, base of operations, each and every day, 24/7, 365. On the left is the bachelor's degree, 3 majors, no minors. On the right is the seminary degree, the same degree that your pastors have, your priests have. And all these things have certain types of significance. There are giant posters here. And Arthur has been in a position of battle. The new Superman coming out is getting very mixed reviews. Not too sure about that. I want to bring to your attention now, since the amputation, I put 2 sofas together, one a little bit longer than the other. And this is where an epiphany came to me last night, Mr. Fancy Schmancy. Some more stuff. There's the Peanuts nativity scene represented. Memory foam pillows, and a pillow under my leg there. But here's, ironically, the Lord always multiple steps ahead of us all. Happy feet, there's another one. You know, me now with 1 foot, check it out. So this is the 1 foot, and here is, following the visit to the prosthetic lab, a compression fitting that went over the limb that will now shrink the limb somewhat so that it'll fit into a prosthetic. But this is what I wanted to bring to your attention mostly, gang. This has been up here for years and years, even way before the amputation, and I sleep here often now, directly under it, and it didn't occur to me until today, the 5th of April, the Civil War thing about fighting for king and country, drawing a line, as it were, and saying, here and no further, no matter the cost. Take a stand from the X-Men. This is an X-Men poster of Angel, the character, but now it has double meaning. Now it has more than just the original meaning. There's Samson and Delilah, Victor Mature, Hedy Lamarr. But you get the idea. Here's some more. Look at this. It's everywhere. The influence of the Lord. And I just wanted to share some of the goodies with you, but the big one was, the takeaway was this, that, I have paid, this battle that I do, this crusade I've gotten facial paralysis that lasted weeks and weeks. I fell into a coma. And now the latest is that I just found this out yesterday on the 4th, that in all likelihood, the injury that I suffered here, this is officially diagnosed. Now I understand what took off the foot. I still don't 100% know how I got it, but it's called necrotic fasciitis. And you will be able to find out more about that by consulting the archives. And I will include a GoFundMe link if you want to give a hand financially, because right now I'm in the weeds. So bless you all out there who are standing along my side, praying feverishly, not just sending up generalized thoughts and prayers, but praying feverishly on Batman's behalf. So until next time, Batman signing off. In a few hours, I'm going to go see Dun, 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 along with the caregiver and along with my long-time friend who's been with me, the co-creator of BiblesForHomeless.com. Have yourself a great Saturday and Sunday, and we'll pick this up again next week.